In Romania, I helped over 10,000 people to overcome anxiety and limiting beliefs. The subconscious mind does not listen to affirmations, to positive thinking, to intentions. It obeys to commands. When you command it, it will always obey.
That's going to be intense, but we're still going to do it for you guys. So enjoy.
I command that this change takes place now and forever into his consciousness and in all the cells of his physical body.
Mental reprogramming. Explain me a little bit what it is and how did you come up with that?
Well, I never done any course in order to teach others or to have like a career in this field, but I experienced myself a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of traumas from my childhood growing up, and I experienced social anxiety until I was 26 years old. And because I was so passionate and desperate to heal myself, I was so disciplined, and I've done a lot of practices, self-development, spiritual practices, and a lot of discipline until I became financially and emotionally free. And it became so natural to help others. And now I have an amazing technique with which I can command to the subconscious mind, because this is how it's called, is the command method, with which you can reprogram any limiting beliefs, fears, traumas, or remove any negative emotions, and you feel the results instant. And this is the amazing thing, that you feel the results instant, and everybody can experience it even for free. And in Romania, I helped over 10,000 people actually to overcome anxiety and limiting beliefs. I always encourage people to learn the technique because it's an amazing skill to command your subconscious mind just like that and to see the results instant. I think it's a powerful skill to have.
Beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about the technique, and then maybe let's try it on me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So what is a technique?
As I said, it is a technique that you can command to the subconscious mind to change, and it will obey instant. Because let me give you more clarity. First of all, the neuroscientists are affirming that we operate 97% of our lives from subconscious programs and beliefs. And this is why we want to change the subconscious mind, because every day you wake up and you have about same thoughts, same behavior, same emotions, you take about same decisions, same habits and so on. And once you change the subconscious mind, your life will change. Your reactions will change. For example, I never felt social anxiety, even though I felt it for so many years from the morning until evening, and now I cannot find it anymore. It is not in it's not in the memory of my subconscious mind. And what I learned throughout so many years of hard discipline is that the subconscious mind does not listen to affirmations, to positive thinking, to intentions, whatever. It obeys to commands. When you command it, it will always obey. I know it sounds too woo-woo, but it's very important to experience this technique. And I know many people are skeptical, but if you are open to experience it, you're welcome to experience it, because nobody never complained that they changed the subconscious mind. Nothing worse can happen. You just come, you experience, and you will see an amazing transformation.
So there's no side effects.
No.
I won't get rush and headaches after that.
No, never. Okay, nobody complained ever.
Well, for the audience, we did try it before. Like, we had a session with you, and it was really good. That's why we're talking here, because it was a very.
That's why you invited me here.
Yeah, it's very powerful. So maybe let's try removing another common belief, and people can follow along the journey.
Cool.
Okay, so we talked about money beliefs, because a lot of people like, I don't have enough money, or I never have enough money.
Yeah.
So that's a common belief.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you have that belief, it will never be enough.
Exactly.
The only thing I'm afraid of, I still want to have more money. So I don't want you to remove completely my beliefs not to pursue money, but I don't want to have fear of not having enough.
Okay, let me give you more clarity. When you think about your finances right now, if you feel like any negative thought, any emotion, or like any guilt or any frustration and something that is missing, you will never be successful like internally, because you're gonna radiate that negative energy, that negative emotion into the universe, and you attract things that resonates with the energy and the emotions that you have inside of you. This is logic. This is the law of attraction basics. And if you want to become financially free, the only thing that you need to do is to remove all the negative emotions that you have related to your financial situation. And this is how I become financially free, actually, by becoming emotionally free first.
Interesting. And what was some of the beliefs you had around money?
The beliefs are also associated with the emotions. You cannot have like a fear or a limiting belief if it's not attached to a negative emotion. I had so many of them. Like, I never have enough money. I will always be poor. I have to struggle. Money comes very hard to me. I have to work very hard for money, and so on.
Okay.
There's so many limiting beliefs in the subconscious mind. Even the fear of asking for money.
Okay. So let's work on me then. I do have
Okay.
beliefs around money.
Let's go.
Okay, so one of the beliefs I would have around money is that it's never enough. Like
Okay.
no matter how much I make,
Okay.
and I make good money, but inside of it is like, no,
I never have enough money.
I never have enough, and I
Yeah.
actually spend also quite a lot, and I think this is like sabotaging myself, saying I don't have enough. When I have enough, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have enough, so I spend what I have to not have it, and then I
Okay.
need to chase it. So I
Okay.
would like to remove that.
Okay, let's remove it. And for the ones that are watching, if you have this limiting belief that I never have enough money, you can follow along and you will also see a change and a transformation. And watch until the end, because you will see how you can experience this technique for free for whatever blockage or fear you have. So let's do it. Well, first of all, Anatoly, tell me how intense and true it is, this fear or limiting beliefs on a scale from 0 to 10 right now. The belief that I never have enough money.
8.
8. Okay. Can I get my phone actually, because I need to write down what I will find in your subconscious mind. Okay, but let me give a little bit more clarity before we're doing this, because a lot of people are doing a lot of self-development practices, techniques, methods, doing affirmations, therapies, whatever, to improve their lives. But they don't have clarity. Nobody can measure and quantify the results that they have. And this is a big problem that people have. And you know what is the biggest frustration that 90% of the people that come to experience the technique have in common? They're all telling me the same thing. For the last years, I've been doing a lot of self-development practices, techniques, therapies, but I'm still at the same level. I'm still facing the same problems and issues. Why? Because people don't have clarity. You need to understand exactly what is in your subconscious mind to do an evaluation of your main limiting beliefs and fears. You need to see where are you in point A right now and where you need to be in point B, where you don't have any limiting beliefs or fears. And this is why I've asked you the question, how intense and true it is the belief on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10. We need to identify clearly how intense it is for you right now, and you will see at the end of these commands, you will not be able to think it anymore.
Okay.
You will not be able to put the finger on that belief, and it will be like you can't think negatively about money anymore.
All right.
Because changing the subconscious mind is not guaranteed that you will manifest whatever in your life. But what is a guarantee is that you will change your negative reactions.
Okay.
Like your negative emotions.
That's all I need.
Cool.
The rest I can figure out.
Yeah. And then you can take better decisions. You can have, more confidence, more clarity, and so on.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So you have the limiting belief that you never have enough money of an intensity of 8.
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions before we start?
No. I'm just nervous.
Okay. So this is what we're gonna do in the beginning. It's important to do what I call a digging technique, because the beliefs in the subconscious mind are not individual. They are connected to others, and we need to put some questions in order to find what is behind this belief, what is the root cause of this fear or this belief. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to answer only with the first words that are coming to your mind without giving me explanations. And if you try to give me explanations, I will stop you. Okay?
Yes.
Cool. So tell me, what is the worst that can happen if you never have enough money? The first words that are coming to your mind, like the first sentence.
I'm going to be poor.
And what is the worst that can happen if you're going to be poor?
I'm going to let my family down.
And what is the worst that can happen if you will let your family down?
My family will suffer.
And what is the worst that can happen if your family will suffer?
They're going to have a bad life and stress and trauma.
And what is the worst that can happen if your family will have a bad life full of traumas and suffering?
They're going to pass it to a next generation.
And what is the worst that can happen if you're going to pass this suffering to the next generations?
We're going to continue passing the bad habits, stress, and trauma of their family and their family and their family, so on, so on. It's a recursive thing.
And what is the worst that can happen if this will happen forever?
My line, whatever the family line, is gonna be tainted with with my bad decisions, which sounds so stupid.
And what is the worst that can happen if your family line will be cursed with your bad decisions and poverty?
Well, they're gonna, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean,
you're gonna feel guilty, or
well, how am I gonna feel? Generally, I feel like I failed.
I failed as a father or as a
as a father, yeah. As a father and as a employer.
And what is the worst that can happen if you failed as a father?
It's going to be very sad.
Okay. Okay, cool. So tell me, when you think about this belief that you never have enough money, do you feel right now like a negative emotion in your chest or in an emptiness in your stomach? Do you feel a negative sensation like a heaviness, something in the chest? What do you feel
pressure
emotionally?
In the chest, yeah.
Pressure in the chest. And what else do you feel in the chest? Like anxiety, fear, frustration, sadness. What do you feel? Sadness. What else?
Sadness and anxiety.
And how intense it is, this emotion right now in the chest area on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10 right now?
8.
8, okay. You see, it's correlated with the belief usually. Cool. So now that we have identified these fears, it's going to take me perhaps about 5 to 7 minutes to make the commands to your subconscious mind. So basically, I will command that each individual fear or negative emotion to be taken from you, sent into the universal consciousness and replaced with something good. And you will see the results instantly. Yeah? So are you giving me the permission to make these commands to your subconscious mind?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. And for those that are following and they have the beliefs or the fears related to Anatoly, you will also feel a change if you are present and you watch this properly. Yeah. And if you're giving the permission, you might feel some results. But it's important to experience the technique one-on-one if you want a proper transformation. Cool. So take a couple of deep breaths in. I mean, you experienced it before. It's not something special. Cool. So I command that all the pressure that Anatoly feels into his chest right now, and all the conflicts for which he feels this pressure into his chest area right now, all the sadness and negative emotion that he feels into his chest area right now, and all the conflicts for which he feels this sadness and negative emotion into his chest area right now, all the anxiety and fear that he feels into his chest area right now, and all the conflicts for which he feels this anxiety and fear into his chest area right now, and all the emotional blockages stuck into his chest and heart chakra, I command to be taken from him and sent into the universal consciousness, along with all the roots, causes, and conflicts, and be replaced with power, courage, enthusiasm, prosperity, love, and the best program coming from the universal consciousness for his highest good. I command that this change takes place now and forever into his consciousness and in all the cells of his physical body. I command that Anatoly's belief and program, I failed as a father, I command to be taken from him and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the roots, causes, and conflicts and be replaced with I have succeeded as a father, I am an amazing father and I'm proud of me and I'm free, and the best program coming from the universal consciousness for his highest good. I command that this change takes place now and forever into his consciousness and in all the cells of his physical body. I command that Anatoly's belief and program, my family line will be cursed with the bad decisions and my poverty. I command to be taken from him and sent it to the universal consciousness along with all the roots, causes, and conflicts and be replaced with my family line and the future generation are blessed with my amazing life and success that I have, and the best program coming from the universal consciousness for his highest good. I command that this change takes place now and forever into his consciousness and in all the cells of his physical body. I command that Anatoly's belief and program, I will continue to pass the suffering to the next generation. I command to be taken from him and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the roots, causes, and conflicts and be replaced with I will continue to pass my amazing success and realizations to the next generations, and I'm proud of me, of everything that I've done, and everybody is happy and thankful for me, and the best program coming from the universal consciousness for his highest good. I command that this change takes place now and forever into his consciousness and in all the cells of his physical body. I command that Anatoly's belief and program, my family will have a bad life and are suffering. I command to be taken from him and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the roots, causes, and conflicts and be replaced with my family have an amazing life and everybody is free and happy. and they will live an amazing life forever, and the best program coming from the universal consciousness for his highest good. I command that this change takes place now and forever into his consciousness and in all the cells of his physical body. I command that Anatoly's belief and program, I will let my family down, I let my family down, I command to be taken from him and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the roots, causes and conflicts, and be replaced with, I am an amazing father and provider, and I lift my family up, and everybody is thankful and everybody love me. And the best program coming from the universal consciousness for his highest good. I command that this change takes place now and forever into his consciousness and in all the cells of his physical body. I command that Anatoly's belief and program, I'm gonna be poor, I am poor, I command to be taken from him and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the roots, causes and conflicts, and be replaced with, I am rich, I always gonna be rich and prosperous, and I'm free, and the best program coming from the universal consciousness for his highest good. I command that this change takes place now and forever into his consciousness and in all the cells of his physical body. I command that Anatoly's belief and program, I never have enough money, I command to be taken from him and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the roots, causes and conflicts, and be replaced with, I always have more than enough money, I have unlimited money and I am free, and the best program coming from the universal consciousness for his highest good. I command that this change takes place now and forever into his consciousness and in all the cells of his physical body. I command that all the receptor centers for the old programs, beliefs, and emotions of Anatoly to close and to open new receptor centers for the new programs, beliefs, and emotions.
All right.
Okay, and take a couple of deep breaths in. You can maybe stretch your body a little bit, become more present.
I was kind of entranced when you were saying that. I
mean, it's not necessary to meditate or whatever. If you give me the permission,
yeah,
you can go to sleep and you will wake up a different person.
Wow. Yeah, I feel lighter for sure.
Okay. Just usually you should feel the effect in about 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But let's see how you feel now. So tell me try to think about the belief that you never have enough money, and tell me how intense it is, the heaviness and the anxiety from the chest on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10 right now.
I would say maybe 3.
Okay, so it's been lowered from 8 to 3.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And think mentally about the belief that you never have enough money. Tell me how intense and true it is right now on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10.
Also like 3?
Yeah, they're related usually.
Yeah.
So it's been lowered from 8 to 3, the belief.
Wow, awesome. So when you say the command, is it like the particular words you need to say? Is it like a chant or no?
It's not a chant. It is a formula. You need to be clear about what to command to the subconscious mind, because it's not good to do chaotic commands. You need to have clarity. What are the receptor centers for example, how to do the visualization, what is the universal consciousness. There are some elements that you need to be aware, but mainly what we do, I command to your subconscious mind. First of all, we identify the belief, then we command to be removed from you and replaced with something else, and the subconscious mind obeys instantly to the commands if you do them correctly. And you see the results. Yeah. Tell me, how was the experience?
Really good, really good.
How does it feel to not feel the belief anymore, like instant?
I feel really good. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So it really matters what you say in this case. So it's not like how you say it and what you say, right? So all this matters in terms of removing subconscious beliefs. So if I would say the same thing to you, would that work?
If I have the belief and you identify it, yes. I mean, I don't have a special power. Everybody have this power and ability. I have 1,000 students that have learned the technique with success. Okay. And they all can apply the technique on themselves, on others.
Yeah.
So on.
How did you find that this works? Like, what was the process of finding this method?
Basically, about 3 years ago, this technique was taught to me, but it was like a very basic version of it, just make commands to a belief, but it was not very clear about how you can measure the results and how you can do the digging technique. And for example, the digging technique is not something that I invented. This is from modern psychology, just to become aware of what is the root cause, but just to become aware is not enough to reprogram it. And basically, I have adapted this knowledge and this information about making commands to the subconscious mind to my own ideas and philosophy that I have gathered along my many years of intense self-development, and the fact that I became myself emotionally and financially free. And I started to adapt this technique to apply it, for example, on negative emotions, on traumas, and on so many other aspects of life, and it's been working. I started to apply it on others. People saw amazing results. Like it's also working for the healing body. For example, this is how I started actually doing the course in Romania. I helped a girl to recover her sense of smell. She couldn't smell since 23 years because she had a trauma on her childhood, and since then she never had the sense of smell. I reprogrammed the trauma, and she started to have the sense of smell. She started crying on Facebook, and had a big wave of people like coming, hey, I want to experience this, I want to experience this. So I had to do the course.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah. Once again, I never learned any course or any particular discipline just to have a career into this field.
Yeah.
Things were happening to me. I was disciplined, and I done a lot of courses just to help myself, not necessarily to help others, but now I'm help others naturally.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your story. So this anxiety you had, where did it come from?
From my father, actually, even though my life is amazing right now, but obviously my life was not always like this. I grew up into a complex family where I experienced a lot of traumas and domestic violence, and I grew up with this belief that I don't deserve to live.
Okay.
Because my father made my mistake, and he was very violent with me, and even since I was very young, he was telling me how happy he was if I was not there, and he was telling me to leave the house, and it was very traumatic for me. And until I was 26 years old, I experienced a lot of social anxiety. For example, I was in London, a student. I was going to a shop, and if the seller was looking into my eyes, I was so ashamed of myself, and I had panic attack. I had panic attacks almost every day.
Wow.
While being in social environments.
Wow. And what happened? What was the time when you're like, it's enough, I need to change? What was the moment?
It was a huge, long period of my life where I was so desperate to heal myself. Like, for example, it was a period of about 6 years when I was in London, where I couldn't sleep at night if I knew that in that day I was not doing something very important and significant to change and improve my life. I was waking up every day at 5 a.m., doing a lot of discipline practices, affirmations, meditations, EFT tapping, psyche, theta healing, timeline healing, going to a lot of courses. I've done even ayahuasca about 25 times. I've done so many things. I was the guy that have practiced everything that I came across in order to heal myself.
Yeah.
And everything came since I was actually 13 years old, where I had a profound spiritual experience, and I become fascinated about this idea that we can create our experience of life with our thoughts and emotions. And I started to read hundreds of books about spirituality and self-development, and that's my story. Now I can let my mind think of any situation, past, present, and future, and I cannot find any negative emotion there. This is what I call to have a higher level of consciousness, or to be emotionally free.
Okay. Financially and emotionally free.
Yeah.
Okay. And back to the technique. So people need to learn those kind of the wording, and
It depends.
And going down like what you're saying is like going down in your fears, and then doing a command. So if somebody knows this process, they can do it by themselves.
Yeah, and they can apply it on others. It's very simple. In a couple of hours, I can teach you the technique. It's not complicated, but usually people prefer to work with one of my facilitators, because I have a huge team in Romania of facilitators, where they enter like a mentorship program where I teach them the technique, but they also work with the facilitator to do like weekly calls in order to do the digging technique and to guide them until they have a profound transformation.
And what's the next step for you? Where you see?
Well, I want to expand it internationally now, the technique, and we will see what is happening. I have a big vision, and I believe that this technique will revolutionize the self-development and therapy industry in the coming years.
Amazing. And how can people, if they want to go and experience the technique, work with you, how can people find you?
On my Facebook TikTok, YouTube. I mean, I'm available everywhere. But for those that wants to experience the technique, because here is a guarantee that I have, you cannot enter my program or learn the technique if you don't see results free in the beginning firsthand. So you need to experience the technique, and only if you see results you are able to buy my product or a mentorship program or whatever. So everybody is welcome to experience the technique. I have a team of facilitators. Even in English now I have about 5 facilitators. So if anybody watching right now they want to transform their life, they can come to experience the technique for free.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. Thank you for reprogramming my belief. Feel better now. Any other parting words you want to say before we go?
No.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Try it at home. It's quite amazing, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.